An RFC is a unique identification number provided by the Mexican government to identify taxpayers. No, foreigners do not need an RFC number unless they are Mexican residents. In that case, they have the option to get an RFC. A seller does not need an RFC to sell their property. Nonetheless, it is recommendable if a seller has Mexican residence, because with the RFC, they are entitled to have a tax benefit. The first $250,000 in gain are tax-free as long as the property that they're selling, it's a house or a condominium for residence purposes. A buyer does not need an RFC to buy a property. Nonetheless, if a buyer has a Mexican residency and they do have an RFC, they are obligated to provide it to the notary in charge of the transaction. To prove that they are living in the property somehow, even though they don't live there, but they'll need to have their RFC in the bill to prove that they are in the property or that they have possession of the property. According to the Mexican government, it is mandatory for Mexican residents to have their RFC. Nonetheless, if a Mexican resident does not have an RFC, the Mexican law doesn't penalize you. So nothing happens really if you're a Mexican resident without an RFC.